Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you in our roles create page. Here I assign one of the select from, and here I can actually add multiple one of the permission from to this area. And now I want to do, if you click on the submit, then all that role will be inserted data in our database table, that means in our roles table. Okay, so this data will be inserted on here and also inserted with the permitted role. Okay, for the reasons I added one of the route for this one as a roles and then store, and here in our create page I also define as a back and role store. You can see that is actually the roles. Okay, because here you can see I just defining that as a roles store, so it should be redirected to that page. So here I just defining the roles and store, and there is a method as a post method. For the reasons I just defining as a route for the post. And now we have to in our admin, in our route controller, here there is a store, one of the methods. So right now we have to create that method. So in our role controller, so that is our method. Okay, and into these positions right now I just want to add all the data. So here there is all the data. I just want to add all the data from here, and I just inserted that things in our database, and with also some of the validation. For doing this, we have to do, first of all, here I just defining that as a these. Okay, and then these here I just defining some of the validation. So I just defining the validate method, and here first of all I have to get that request. So here I just define that request on here, and now on particular that positions I want to add some of the validation and also want to show some of the error message. Okay, for now here I just define the array, and also I define another array for this one. So now there is a semicolon, and on particular that position, first of all here. Okay, so here I just want to do, I just first of all take one of the name, that means our database field name, and into this position I just define first of all this field. I hope you can well understand about it because I did that type of work before. So this field I just put that things as a required. So here I just define that as a required. Okay, so here I just define that things as a required. And now also I want to do, I just take another variable, I just define that as a permission. I just define that permission, and here for the permission I just defining a required. Okay, so here I also make the things as a required, and also I just defining that as a array. So here I just defining as a array. And now for the another one, and now here I also want to do another things, like here if you go to that position, that actually this field I just make the things as a required. Okay, so here you can see you can actually assign some of the multiple one of the permission on particular that area. For the reasons I just want to make that field as a for the all required. Okay, like here I just defining as a permission, and here I just defining as a dot and all. So here I just define that permission all. Okay, and now for this one here I just put as a required, and also I just make the things as a string. Okay, so that should be our string data. And now here on to this position I just want to show some of the display message, that means some of the error message. Okay, so when this field will be the required, like when this field will be empty, then what exactly will be displayed. So for now, first of all, here I just defining that field name. So here I just defining the field name as a name, and I just put that things as a required. Okay, so when this field will be the empty, then this message will be displayed like as a name field is required. Okay, so this type of message will be displayed on particular that position. And also we have to assign, that means this field, that means permission field, I just define that as a required, and also I just support it for the multiple. Okay, for the reasons also we have to defining it. So here I just defining that field name as a permission, and here I just defining as a required. So here I also want to make the things as a required, and when it should be required, then I want to show some of the message, like here this you must select permissions. Okay, so permissions, this type of message will be displayed. And also I define another validation on here, that is permission for the all. Okay, so for the reasons I just defining as a permission here again. permission, and I just defining for the all. So now here I just defining as a all, and then I just put that things as a required. Okay, and now here I just defining some of the message like you must select a permission. Okay, so here I just defining some of the message. So this one is our first step. So here I just define all that validation. Okay, so here I just define all that validations. Now I want to insert the data. For doing this, after that, here first of all I want to insert all the data in our role. That means in our role table. Okay, in the roles table. So here first of all I want to create one of the object for this role. So right now I just take one of the variable as a role, and here I create one of the object as a role. Okay, I just defining as a role on here, and here I also include, that means use our role model. Here you can see I just defining that role model all here. On here I also use that permission model on particular that position. So I already included that one. So for the reasons, now I created one of the object for this role. So now here we have to assign all that our field with this role. Okay, like here with this role, here I just defining our field name as a name field, and I just defining it with the our one of the another variable as a request. So here I just get all the things with this request. Okay, so with this request now I want to access that name. So here I just name it, and also we have to define all that our other field. Better I just copy it. Okay, I just copy it and I just paste that things on here. So our other field is, if you go to the create page, like there is actually the name. Okay, like there is a name, and another one is the display name. So here I want to assign it. So there is a display name. Here I just define the display name, and also another one is the description. So I just define the description here, the description, and there is a description. So I hope you can well understand about it. So that's all that our field. So here if you go to the positions, like there is a name, there is a display name, and the description. So here I assign all the field on particular that position, and after that I want to save that data. Okay, so now with this role I want to save it. Like here I just define as a save. Okay, I just define the save method on here, and then I want to fetch all that our permissions. Like here you can see that is actually all the permissions is now fetched from our another table. So that is actually another table I just assign as a permissions table. For the reasons, we have to actually fetch all the data. So for doing this we have to do after the save, here I just define all the for each. Okay, and into the for each I just define as a our this all with this one. So with this request I just want to add our field name. So here our field name I just assign that things as a permission. So here I just defining it with the permission. So I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I do it on particular that position. So that's all that our field name field. Okay, and here I just define the display field, description field with this role, and here I just assign that things with the request. And now we want to do that same things, like here with the request I just send our permission field, and here I just define as, okay, define as value. And now here I just want to define, like here with the role. So I just define that role, and with the role here they have another method as a attach permission. So I just define as a attach. Okay, attach permission, and into the attach permission here I just define that value which I actually assign in our for each on particular that area. And now I want to do, after saving all the data, where exactly it should be redacted. Okay, so now here I have to actually assign that page action. So here I just define as a returned, and then I just define that as a redact. Okay, so I already did this type of work a lot of the time. That is a redact, and redact here you have to define that which page. So here you have to assign some of the action. So I just defining one of the action as a action, and into this position. And then after the saving all the data, like when you save all the data from here, then it should be redirected to our list page. Okay, so I already created another page in our rule. Here you can see there is a list blade. So for now I just want to redact it on here. So admin, and then the slash as a role. Okay, that means I already assign one of the URL for this one. Here if you go to this position, like that is actually the index. So here it should be redirected to our index method. Okay, so for now here I just defining it on particular that area. So in our index method, if you go to the role, that means this controller in our role, you can see that is in our index method here I assign the view page for this list page. Okay, that means when this data will be the save, then it should be added that action, that means this index action, and in this index action will be transferred to that list page. Okay, so I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I want to do. So here I just put that action, so it should be redirected to our action method, and then I also want to show some of the message. So if you want to show the message like with, okay, and with, and then I just define the success message. So success message will be like as a permission created successfully. Okay, so here it should be showing some of the messages as a permission created successfully. So I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I want to do on here. So now let's check this out. Like I just click on the save all. Okay, I just click on the save all on particular this area, and now if you click on the refresh that page, and now here I want to assign one of the role. Like here I just define role as a author, and now display name I just define as the author, and now that is actually the description. And for the author, I just set all permission as a 2, and there is permission as a this one, another permission. Okay, for education purpose I'm actually using it, but laterally I will change that all permission name. And now if everything is okay, then it should be work. Like click on the submit. So now that is actually this catch install does not support tagging. So here actually we have to do one things, like if you go your join directory and there is actually if, okay, and here actually it's not supporting with this file. So there's a little cache driver, so it's supporting with the array. So here you have to define that as an array. So here I just defining it, and now click on the save all, and now if you I just click on the go back and refresh that page. And now here I just put that name as an author, display name as an author, description as an author. I just define to permission. Now click on the submit. So here there is a duplicate entity. Okay, so actually there is actually duplicate, because here I just click on the go back. Now I just refresh it, and now I just change the name as author one. Okay, and display name as a author one, and description as a author one, and set the permission. Now click on the submit. Yes, you can see now it's redirected to our list page. And now if you click on the your database, like there is a roles, and if you now click on the browse, yes, you can see now that is data is inserted successfully. There is an author, and there is also another one as the author one. Okay, so now also if you go to the set permissions, like the permissions rules, here you can see it's also defined that permission ID, that is a role ID is particular that position. So each and everything is now perfectly submitted on here. So in the next video, I will show you how can display all that your rules from here and display that things in our list page. So in the next video, I will design our list page. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.